Okay, let's play some Rimworld today. Why? Because why not? Also, I'm trying to get, like, 2 of these out a month. But, yeah, no, let's just ignore that and get into it. First thing I'm going to do is equip all my colonists with weapons and armor so they can brutally murder things instead of brutally murdering themselves with whatever the raiders decide to toss at us. Happy is the first one to be armed with a revolver, as he is the second best shooting, and if you look at his skills, that will say something about the colony's abilities. He'll also receive some flak pants because people like their legs intact. Sky has the best shooting out of all of them, so she can get the gun that would blast people's heads off in some games and poke someone's arm in another. Eventually, she will get a plasteel helmet, so someone doesn't blow her brains out, especially with a double barrel. We need to make a really smart choice of the series and give the psychopath a knife and flak vest, which is not a good weapon to be given someone who's a psychopath. Storage is just a tiny bit of an issue, so let's build a glorified fridge so we can eat and store food there. To do this, you're going to want to create a dumping stockpile in a room, then build a cooler into the wall. This will also require some electricity, so stop living in the Stone Age and get a generator. You'll also need to select what gets put in there, and since we don't want decayed robots and rotten human bits mixed with the food, we will be unselecting them. And as you can see, we'll be placing a wood-fired generator there to power the base. Now, since I don't know what the words good layout design is, I put the other storage in another corner of the shithole known as fuck. We're going to store anything and everything except food. Food is to never enter that room. Ever. Like, period. But anyways, we need some place to store everything from weapons to souls of the innocent that my colonists have reaped. Not really, although there is probably a mod somewhere out there that does that. Living in prehistoric times forever does not sound all too swell, so let's just build a research table for all the knowledge. While we're at it, let's get an electric stove as well, because hot food is always important, because then we can cook meat. You're obviously going to need electricity hooked up to the stove, so let's place it next to the generator and hook it up from there. But first, we need to cut it with a butcher's table, which we can put right next to it, making it much easier for the chef to gather food. Life out here can be nice and relaxing for the colonists, except for when a psychic drone appears that makes every male in the colony have their mood decrease. When a psychic drone appears, not a flying thing, it's talked about an annoying low noise. It will affect a random gender in a negative way. This one's affecting the male population, causing them to drop in mood. While the males are being grumpy because of the constant psychic noise, the electric stove is done. So now we can make someone make us food till the end of time, or until I stop them. Either one. So once the kitchen in the corner is finished with the creation of the butcher's table, my colonists can feast for days. The stove has been built, and so has the research table, which gives us the ability to research things. It's in the title, guys, don't make me spell it out for you. This will allow us to research batteries, among other things, but right now some portable electricity would be nice. Since we have got the knowledge of batteries coming up, let's build a wind turbine to have energy till we can get off this lump of a planet, or forever if we feel like it. The thing can work at night and day to power your base, making it more efficient than solar panels. Only problem is, it's a big fucker that takes up more space than we have. If that's the case, then you make that space by crushing rocks into oblivion. While these colonists are technically bits of numbers, codes and pixels, they're also theoretically human, so they can and will get sick. Gotta love the human body. Everyone's favourite psychopath, Finn, is our first victim of the weak and frail human body. He has contracted the ever-murderous and disastrously flu. To fix him, I need to tape him down to the bed and have someone tend to him till he's fixed again. You know what? You can never have enough meat, so why don't we have the remaining colonists that aren't about to drop dead from coughing go hunt the local deer population. Nothing like a good casual Tuesday night, full of deer murder, or just murder in general. Aren't the sounds of gunshots going off and bucks screaming just so soothing to listen to? Could put the kids to sleep. And we also get the spoils of food and resources from the fancy meat for fancy foods to light leather for fancy hats to wear. Why? Because why the fuck not? And that's about it. As the cooldown time for Finn's care comes to a very slow end, we can finally get him back to work. Eventually, when he finally gets up from his deathbed, because If he dies, I really don't want to deal with the consequences of my colonists having a reduced mood, because colonists died. We don't discriminate on here, so since we brutally slaughtered the deer inside the compound, let's take out the wild boars for some sweet pork and pig skin. As a local psychopath recovers, he can listen to the pigs screaming for dear life, and gunshots ringing outside his room. And while we're at it, let's just have them kill the last of the deer for good measure. We're not psychopaths ourselves, I swear. I am perfectly sane. Don't you all just absolutely love it when a meteorite just breaks apart of your hard-built wall that you need to protect yourself from raids, and that will cost materials and, importantly, time to rebuild? We had a wonderful heatwave earlier in the video, just like home for me. I installed a few passive coolers in the bedrooms, and they're shit. I'm going to be replacing them with actual coolers. With the completion on the battery research, we can research solar panels and not kill our shitty planet. And now that that is complete, we build some batteries next to the generator and put a roof over them so they don't blow up and destroy our wall and anything in it. When it rains though, when it rains. And the boys get hit with a psychic soothe, which will just bring up their mood, and that's about it. This game likes to drop unexpected surprises on you, so Randy has decided to send me cargo pods full of real pretty but fucking useless item called jade. Finn has finally gotten better after what feels like fucking years, and he's hopefully never getting that shit again after developing immunity. So let's make him get off his ass and do the work. But first we're going to feed the greedy fucker. Once he's done that, let's make him build a table and chairs, because the colonists apparently get upset when they don't eat with a table. Like, literally mood debuff. We're going to make this sick little shit work his bedtime off, so he can be the one to finally get rid of the meteorite that broke the wall. And of course it's going to produce even more jade, because we needed some jade apparently. That's it. We can finally get around to making the kitchen and common area look nice, so I'll have the colonists put a wooden floor so they're not eating in the dirt. Would you look at that? A retard has decided to try and come at us with his club. Just put the colonists, or slaves, or whatever you want to call them, at the door, which they're most likely to come at, and wait. If they go around to the other door, just send the colonist over there. And once they start attacking the dog, it becomes real personal, so don't ever let this person live to see the light of day again, as they'll rot in hell for all of eternity for attacking a dog. Probably not, actually. I have no idea what would happen. Death? Would, maybe hell? I don't know. After recovering from the absolutely devastating effects of the last raid of a single man naked and with a bat that will burn the depths of hell for hurting the dog, someone has asked for help with a bandit infestation, which, if we do, we can get some shiny new shit to work with. Oh, and people will like us as well, that too, but most importantly, new stuff, and abuse in the lovely world of fuck. Unfortunately, since I'm not sending my colonists to travel for 3 days with food that's going to spoil in 2, maybe the new things aren't needed, but that's not for us to judge now, is it? Maybe it is. I really should have thought through using a wood-fired generator, since we are all out of wood, so I'm going to force the little shits that didn't go on the bandit extermination trip to kill some of the trees. Because fuck this planet, it's not going to affect anything. Well, I'm just going to get wood. Speaking of energy generators, the solar panel research is now done. So now let's look at smithing to get things more deadly. As the night goes on and the colonists are fucked asleep, a transport pod crashed onto this hellish rock, with, surprisingly, a non-dead person inside. If they will join us, they can be very useful. If they have decent skills, that is. And this guy listened in class, because he can actually fix people better than the rest of the idiots. For now, he'll be sleeping in Happy's room. But he's not real happy about that. People don't like sharing rooms with others unless they're lovers. And Happy's not going to be good about that either. Also, Happy isn't sleeping until this guy has stopped bleeding out. Because, believe it or not, you can get infections in this game. And that's something you want to avoid, because that's a waste of medicine. Which also means we do have to dodge gunfire. But that's something you can't work with. Ah well. Having even more energy would be nice, so let's put some fancy new solar panels in the back. And in this world, they aren't going to cost an arm and a leg. And a head to get, as well. Prehoff, I think that's pronounced, is going to repeat Finn with being sick, except he's bleeding out and is in probably a lot more pain, and may never fully recover from his wounds. So, Happy is going to feed him, because the fucker can't move an inch. But on another note, it's pretty stuffy in the bedrooms, so let's add a cooler and some vents, because adding a cooler for every room is costly, and really none of these fuckers deserve it. You know how much supplies they've wasted me? They're just gonna get killed anyway. A meteorite, again, except with limestone, just what we all wanted and needed. I just don't know what we would have done without limestone. Well, I looked away for a few minutes, and everything goes to shit here, of course. There is a flash storm, which caused a shit ton of fires. So the colonists are throwing themselves at the fire to put it out, and hopefully not getting set on fire. Because that's just how it works in the world of Rim. Any fires in the home zone need to be put out. A spacecraft left chunks randomly across the fucking world where I am. And the flash storm, it does end. But the fires were inside the base. And the colonists had to sleep because they got tired. Which is lazy when they could be fighting the fucking fires. Then all of the wood that I got Sky to chop down was just set alight. Like, if I could fight the Sky, I would. But I'm not that stupid. You can't fight the Sky unless you get a black hole, then you can fight the Sky. Now it eventually rains, so all the fires got put out. Thank God, it was a hazard for everyone. And someone finally got around to mining out all those rocks I asked for. You pieces of shit. And I don't even need them to mine it anymore. But at least we got some resources and can enforce more slave labor for the colonists. As one of the colonists chips away at a rock, we have some guests, unfortunately, because who like socializing? So let's send the psychopath to greet and trade with them, because somehow he is the most social one out of all the freak shows here. Psychopath, intelligence, makes sense. He managed to get a shotgun and some medicine, because more weaponry is always fun, and it's always fun to be able to fix things like the incident we had with medicine. I mean by, like, the incident with medicine. Sounded like the incident with medicine, but there's a space there. While tending to one of the lost little shits who landed in this mess of a planet, another one has come crashing down from the heavens into the pits of hell, otherwise known as the colony of fuck. This dumbass is actually a decent cook, so we're gonna kick the sheriff out of his bed and make a new one for this guy to sleep in. Because the other one should be fine, despite the probably internal bleeding, but I'm pretty sure that's where the blood's meant to be. Or yes, that's where blood's meant to be. Internal bleeding is good then. And of course, when choosing who to go and rescue and save this person, we choose Happy, as they are our best medic. They will tend to their wounds, and hopefully this person will join us. And as I would like to end this hellhole here, we got some food from the skies. But otherwise, that's going to be it. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Make sure to dislike and not scrub. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.